Here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I am going to be talking about you can be better or you can be bitter, or you can be bitter or you can be better. And so I do these YouTube lives every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys do find this video content of value, you guys can show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. My details will be in the description. And so today, I'm going to be talking about you can be better or you can be better, okay? And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I feel like there's a lot of people in this world and they like to focus on all the negative things that's happening to them instead of looking at it as gifts or experiences or lessons in life. And the reason why I want to say that is because most people that you encounter in life, and I was one of those, most of them are going to be bitter. They're going to tell you why things won't work. It's usually a projection of how they really feel inside. So if you think about it, a person that is doing well for themselves and they want you to become better, because success is never crowded along the extra mile, Jim Rohn, where if you're willing to go out there and strive and put in the amount of effort, taking a massive action and to becoming a better person, the best person that you could actually be, then you're going to do more work than what most people won't be able to do. So then what ends up happening is you get a lot of people trying to tell you that it probably wouldn't work. It's a waste of time. Well, guess what? Newsflash. Time's only going to be wasted, okay? You only have an X amount of time on this earth anyways. Everybody has one destination at the end of it. So if you don't do it while it's a quote unquote waste of time, then what is a good use of time? Unless they can answer that, then by all means, hey, let them have it, right? But you're here today, and you're here today because you want to become a better person, become the best version of yourself. So with that said, I'm going to be going over my recap episode, which is the drama-free life. Who wants to live a life with full of drama, right? Which is I want to talk about the slide of where are your thoughts, because thoughts come first, okay? Thoughts is what it starts with thought, okay? Or belief. You believe in yourself, and it comes as thought, okay? And from this thought, it becomes emotions, and emotions become feelings, and feelings is what drives behaviors. So if you already start out with a bad thought process, thinking that you won't ever do it anyways, or you will never succeed, would you consider starting? But let's just say you have a good friend like me, Mitchell Tang, all right? And he's like, yo, that's what you want to do? Okay. Why do you want to do it? Okay. How are you going to do it? Well, guess what? The bigger your why, the easier the how. And if you want to draw, if you have a passion for drawing, or if you have a love for playing this video game and you want to be a streamer, whatever it is that you want to do, or you want to be the best nurse out there, whatever it is, if you could find out your why, the how is going to be much easier, okay? And that's one of the biggest secrets, okay? Now, let's talk about the drama-free life and where are your thoughts. And it depends on what you focus on, because what you focus on expands, and what you fear you attract. So I don't know if you ever watched Simon Sinek, but he talked about, I think it was Navy SEALs, and it was something along the lines of like, here's an example, right? Not Navy SEALs, but like, for example, let's talk about if I were to say, don't hit that obstacle course, don't hit that block, don't hit that garbage can. What you focus on is going to happen. Like, our brain doesn't know the difference. Don't think of an elephant. Did you think of an elephant? All right. So instead, it's like this. Well, even with kids, hey, don't eat on the bed. They're going to go to the bed and eat. It's like, well, didn't I tell you not to eat in the bed? But what you should be doing is being like, go eat at the table. Go eat at the table. Or go eat on the floor. But I wouldn't know why you would tell kids to eat on the floor. Go eat on the table. Go eat at the table, right? That's more direct. It's not. Kids follow, okay? It's some psychological thing that I'm still trying to figure out too. I need a word for this. But anyways, it depends on what you focus on, right? Now, are you focused on something that hasn't even happened yet? Because a lot of people do, and that builds anxiety. That's unfair for you. Nothing ever happened. What's up, Zach? Don't pee on cars. Yeah, because if you do that, kids are gonna be like, well, my nieces in particular, they're not gonna ever experience that unless they grab the hose. So it depends on what you focus on. Like, what fucking drives you? What drives you to become the person that you want to be? Like, if if you wake up with life and things are going the way you want it, are you going to be a bitter person? Probably not. But the reason why most people are bitter and they're not trying to become better is because they don't really have anything going for themselves. They don't know. And then when you ask them, they can't even answer it themselves. So it's like, well, they don't even they most people they do more research or planning on buying a car. They know more specs. This is the how many miles per gallon that you're gonna get, X and Y and Z, than they do planning their lives. They don't plan their lives, but yet they would do all this thing for this one car where eventually they're not gonna even care too much about. They'll be like, oh, it's just a car. Okay. So yeah, it's interesting, right? So, and are you planning on not having a good time? What's up, Shevlin? There's a lot of people that's going through life just looking for reasons to be upset. It's like, do you really want to be around those people? I sure don't. Because look, waking up in the morning and just imagine being with that person that's always negative. Oh, you want to eat that? It's like that. Don't try to change them. Just don't be around them if that's what they want, right? But if you care about them, you will gently lead them. But you can never change a person, because if you try to change a person, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have resentment, okay? When resentment comes, they're going to put the blame on you. It never ends well. It usually never ends well, okay? And so, anyways, this happened a little earlier today, so I want to share a little story, right? And I kind of shared it on my earlier live. But, I saw my friend, and what ended up happening was, as we were talking to each other, he was like, so Mitchell, like, what's been new with you? And I kind of shared some of my things, some obstacles that I'm kind of going through myself. And he was like, wow, you that's a lot. I was like, yeah, you can say that. He was like, how are you so calm about it? I was like, I don't know. I was like, but one thing I do know is that, like, I know that life doesn't always go the way you want it, but you can always still aim at that direction. It just means that I gotta be a little bit more patient. And he was like, you've been more than just patient with this. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I don't need to be the first person in line, but at the same time, I'm like, no, things will get done. He was like, well, the great thing about it is the fact that, Mitchell, you're persistent on it. You're super persistent. You don't stop. You do the things that's necessary for you to build whatever you need to do, and that's the best approach that you could possibly have. Because if you don't do this, then how can you how can you how can you expect something to happen if you don't want to do it? So he was like, I was like, yeah. I was like, and I take pride in that. I was like, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Like, I take pride in trying to stay calm. And don't get me wrong, there are times where, like, I just want to explode, and sometimes I'm just like, all right, I just gotta hold it in a little bit. Like, is it really worth yelling and screaming? Like, is that the nature of how I want to be? You know what I mean? Like, when life squeezes me, like, and I want to yell, scream, kick, whatever, it's like, is that really what I want to do? And it's like, yeah, only to get some of the anger and frustration out. But then instead of doing that, why don't I try to find a solution? Don't be mad, find a solution. Shit happens. And so that was, and that was really nice. There is a lot going on, but oh well. You know what? I'm still here. I'm talking to you guys, and I told him this. I was like, I choose to count my blessings, and whereas other people, they decided already they want to add up their problems, and that's not what I want to. That's not what I want to do, because it's like I don't need my problems to be their problems. I don't want to put on them. It's unfair for them because it's my problems. Now, if you have issues and you want to talk about certain things and I can help, absolutely, I got you. Why? Because I could give that. You can't give what you don't have, and I have that. So I have the time, I have the knowledge, I have the ear. I can listen to you, I can hear what's going on, and I can. And not only that, I developed a skill when I was younger, where which is like I learned to pick up on feelings a little bit. And so I get to interact with people and be more empathetic because I understand where they're coming from. And if I don't, I will let them know. I'll be like, I don't know how it should feel, but I'm here and I will listen to you, right? That's what I can afford and what I can give. So anyways, that was really interesting. And I was like, yeah, I take pride in it. And so thank you for pointing that out, man. I really appreciate it. I was like, yo, when we gonna fucking eat? When you gonna host? Or whatever. We just got to get food. We all sit down and then we just pick each other's brains a little bit. Like, I want to know what you know, because you have inspired me to become a person that I want to be when I get to the age that you're at. So yeah, very, pick brains. Listen to people that are successful, because success leaves clues. Okay. And so that's why, I like starting my days right. I like to plan things out. I want to make sure that, hey, did I get my fitness in? Did I get my workout in? Did I prepare food? Because if I don't prepare food for myself, chances are I'm just gonna be like, you know what, let me just eat this. And it's just one day, and then one day leads to 2 days. And look, all it takes is 2 days to break a habit. So do you want to break the habit that you've been so consistent on, right? um and just being grateful, right? Just being grateful. So anyways, let's move on. First slide on, you can be bitter or you can be better. Okay. So I like to look at people as gifts. People come and go. Okay. Now it could be family, it could be your partner, your the love of your life, um friends, best friends, strangers, coworkers, colleagues, whatever it is. People come and go into your life. And that's just the nature of it. And no one's gonna stay there forever. And then to think that you can force somebody to stay with you forever, control is an illusion, right? And so that's why most people don't have control over things. So that's why they physically or verbally need to say things to break that person down, so that they wouldn't want to leave you. That's a form of manipulation. Also emotionally abusive too, as well. Like, you're trying to beat them down so that they feel like if they leave outside, they go outside, they're never gonna find anything better than you. Yeah, it's kind of manipulative, right? That's why I come with the approach of how love is an act. Love is about giving. You want them to be happy, and if they want to come back to you, they will. And if they choose, like, they don't want to, then you just both saved each other time. Okay, so people come and go, and they're gifts. The gifts to you. So whatever you could get out of that gift, maybe that person came in and inspired you to become that person that you never thought you could be. And they're no longer there with you, right? Maybe they left you for whatever reasons, or whatever reasons they had, right? And if they do that, then learn to accept the good from that, because it's easy to get focused on all the bads. Like, oh, like, this person didn't do this. It's like, well, if you're gonna complain all about all the bad things, I want you to focus on what good things came out of it. Like, what happened? And then that will put you into a better mindset, that you're not going to project out into the world as much. Because if you absorb all this negative energy, you're only going to push back out all that negative energy. And that's going to repel a lot of people away, right? So, rejection. I want to start out with this quote, which is, rejection, I have found, can be the only antidote to delusion. It means that, this is how I decipher it. So a lot of the rejections I've received in the past, like, they're the antidote to my delusion. I thought I knew this thing and I really didn't, like, so trial and error. It gave me a lot of experiences. It gave me a lot of lessons, right? And on top of that, I get to read about great people that have already done it, or done more than what I can do, and I can learn a lot from that. And so that's why I was so inspired from me reading, listening, and not on top of that with my experiences too as well, where I could share certain things that a lot of people could relate to as well. And that's why I love that quote. Rejection, I have found, can be the can be the only antidote to delusion. So, more rejection I've gotten, right? And you don't get what you deserve in life, you get what you negotiate, right? So if you don't really truly value yourself, if you don't really think highly of yourself, one is to think highly of yourself, but two, you have to put in the work to think highly of yourself. Because if you don't put in the effort, why would anyone can say they're worth $1 million or 2 billion or whatever, right? Ain't nobody gonna pay for that unless you're worth that much. So it's how well can you negotiate even with yourself. There's some people that ask for massage, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. Why? Because I don't want to just get my shit for free. Like, I put in decades of time and effort into learning this. Like, I've been learning how to massage for about 2 decades. Okay, and it's not just a regular massage. So I don't mind helping you here and there, but if it's concurrent, yeah, it's not gonna be free, you know. And just like anything that you spend your time with, and this is your career, your job, or whatever you want to do for your life, it's like, yeah, then you should get paid for it. There's no such thing as free, right? And eventually, like, you have to be able to value yourself, otherwise people would not value you. Same thing goes into your relationship. So um here's the problem with the world right now is a lot of people put a lot of fake fronts. Okay, they mistaken confidence with a front, where most people they just coming in and they act all confident, but they got nothing to back it up. Oh, you have a nice car. All right, cool. But your house is a fucking mess. You have $0 in the bank, right? It's like, hmm, where are your priorities? You know, it's like, I get it, you have a nice car to go around in, but like, you could barely fill up gas. And that should kind of humble you a little bit. You know, just these are just examples, right? A lot of people put up fronts. I don't know if you've seen me. I've wore the same clothes over and over and over and over. I just recycle it, if you haven't noticed, right? And don't get me wrong, I do like new clothes. It's just that right now, I don't need new clothes. But eventually, I will. You know what I mean? I will. But right now, it's not the time. What's more important to me is the fact how much knowledge I could put into this little mind of mine. You know what I mean? So that I could share it with you. That's what is important to me, and that's where I spend most of my time and my days. I do this about 7 days a week. I keep thinking about things of, like, as I was finishing this up yesterday, I was already thinking about what I'm gonna do for Saturday. And the reason why is because I fucking love this shit. I love it. I love how you guys could benefit from the things that I've learned, and I could share it, and then we could both benefit from it. And then it comes into this circle of play where we're just both supporting each other on our way up. And we all have obstacles. We all have things that might kind of stop us or put everything at a halt for a little bit, but it doesn't mean that we stop becoming better. You know what I mean? And I think there's much more things to get out of that than to become bitter and not wanting someone to succeed because you're not there, right? Because life is full of that too, right? It's nasty out there. So here's the thing. So with people with confidence, this fake confidence or this front, here's the thing. Take a step back and just really, really look at you. Be humble a little bit. Humble yourself. Okay. Take a step back and be aware of the situation that you're in. Maybe you're just not that good at this, and that's okay. Look, keep trying at it. You're going to fail. You even might get embarrassed. Hey, maybe that one time you want to go up to that girl and you get rejected in front of everybody. But guess what? You got rejected. Too many people were too busy worrying about if they got that. Luckily, I didn't do that. Oh my God, look at that guy, right? But you're that person that actually kept doing things, and you're gonna find yourself way more successful than the people that. Are you the audience, or are you the player in the field, right? You were just a player in the field. It just so happened you didn't catch that ball, but everyone's like blaming you about not catching that ball. Shut up, sit down, just keep watching, eat your popcorn, all right? Let me fail, but I'm gonna fail forward. So take a step back. The best version of myself is quite professional. What is it? So here's the thing too, right? If that's happening, chances are it's patience. You're lacking patience, right? A lot of people like patience, and success does not seem to follow them. It's like, why am I not successful? X, Y, and Z, right? Why? Maybe it's the your execution, right? It could be that too, right? So if patience is what you're lacking, practice being mindful. Practice about being like, if you're easily finding yourself impatient, find out what triggers that impatience. What is it? Is it because you want something and it's not there yet? And you just want. And it's like same thing for relationships, right? Oh, she hasn't responded to me in 2 to 3 days, 4 days, or whatever. I want her. I want her back. I want her. I want to know now, right? It's like, hey, you know what? Just chill for a little bit. It means that you got time to do the things that you gotta do. Well, I don't have anything to do. Well, whose fault is that? I look at him. Whose fault is that? Okay. All right then. All right then. But I got you. Like, what do you like doing? What do you enjoy? X, Y, and Z, right? All right. So here's the thing. Okay. So even after a breakup, right? If you consider people as gifts, right? Most people think I'm angry. Sadness is part of it, right? Grieving process. But like a lot of people have like anger, they have fear, they have resentment, right? Um, but if you really think about what is going on, the reason why you're upset about the relationship, or you're angry that things didn't go the way you wanted, or you're the person that got dumped or whatever, right? Like, are you angry and resentful because you feel that you're not worthy? Because chances are, and there's a great chance that most people that's angry in a relationship and they're yelling, screaming, behind anger is fear, and there's always that fear. And one fear is fear that you're not going to be loved. So if you're fearing that you're not going to be loved, or you're not going to find someone better, then you're lacking some confidence. It's because you don't have any competence. And if you don't have any competence, it means that you haven't taken enough actions in the past that actually guided you through that process of becoming more confident so that you could do it, right? So what does it mean? Put yourself out there. You got to learn a little bit, but you have to do it with the right intentions. Do it with something that we all believe in, right? Do you have integrity? Do it with integrity. Have values, right? Value-based goals. What are your goals, right? How does your ideal lady look like, or ideal man look like? Like, what are some of those things? And when you have that, what you focus on, it expands, and it's only going to happen eventually. But then, hey, you just got to be patient. And one of the best quotes, it's not even a quote, but I just heard my coach talk about it. He was like, "Yeah, if I was 22 again, I would think in terms of decades." And I was like, "Man, like, so often I wanted things really quick, and I got really good at one thing, but then I ended up like kind of just like I didn't really believe in myself, negative self-talk, and all that. And it's like, well, I've been doing it for 5 years. Well, people have been doing it for decades. Come on, Mitchell, how could you even compare, right? So people are gifts, and when it comes to you, what did you extract out of that, right? What came good out of that? And when you have that better mindset, you're going to view life much better. You're gonna have a more optimistic mindset, and you're gonna be really fucking hard to be replaced. Okay. And even if they get into a different relationship, chances are they're not gonna find a person that's gonna have your type of mentality. Why? Because most people, they just yell, scream when things don't go their way. But you're just the one, like, you just sipping. You're like, oh, it's not what I want. But okay. Okay. All right. And it's like, what? You taking it so... It's like you don't care. No, I care a lot. I really do. It just seems like I don't. But, hey. So, the more grounded you are before the breakup, the better you can handle the breakup. Okay? Think about it like this. Relationships to amplify who you already are. So if you're already grounded, if you're more of a complete person, that person leaving is not going to affect you as much. It's still going to affect you. You're still human. You're not a robot. So, hey, you're just going to be grounded way more. And you're not going to be bitter about life. You're still going to move in a direction of, this is what I need to do. Right now, so remember when I was talking about people that vibrates in a higher vibration, they tend to focus on facts as in, have you done these type of work that that allowed you to become a competent person? If the answer is yes, then it means that none of whatever other people say should ever shunt you, should ever tear you down into the person to believe that you're not capable of anything else. Like you're no longer worth anything because that person broke up with you, or that person, or you got fired from a job. So that's why it's like, put into work, do all the necessary things. That's why planning things out and making sure that you follow through those plans is so important, because then you can become the person that you want to be. But if you do everything, anywhere will take you to there, right? As in, like, you're not gonna really be great at that one thing. So find a focus. Find a focus. And it's you're never able to connect the dots moving forward, but it isn't until years later that's when you're going to find out, like, oh wow, all these things happen and it taught me how to become this person that I am today. And you just gotta be patient. I'm looking at this like, wow, Mitchell's greatest hit. Yo, do you actually have that, man? That'll be impressive. I'll be impressed. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, so anyways, relationships to amplify who you are. So one of my favorite quotes, and man, you could write this down too, all right? This is Jim Rohn, all right? I got this from Jim Rohn. Copy paste. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Because if you think about it, a lot of things could be solved if you have more skills, right? Think about it. If you're mad all the time and you find it frustrating, right? I'm actually 14, right? But if you think about it, it's like, if you always find yourself so mad, if you're always upset, right? You always find yourself upset, and you find out the why you're upset. You're upset because you want to get to your destination faster. Well, how can you get to your destination faster? Well, if you got there earlier, instead of always, like, yo, I get it. You go to work at 7 o'clock on the dot every day. But hey, if you miss one red light, one green light, and that light turns red on you, you're gonna be late for work. Well, what does it mean? It means that you got a lot of planning to do. You should plan it a little bit better. Okay. So yeah, if you have more skills, you'll have less problems. Don't wish for less problems, because problems will always come your way. Okay. It's the nature of life, okay? There's always going to be problems, okay? No matter where you go. It's how you deal with it. And if you deal with it well, chances are, most people are going to be like, there's something about this person. I don't know. He doesn't seem to get upset doesn't get too bothered all the time. And that person, like, who wants to be in a relationship with somebody that's always feeling anxious? Like, you're always walking on eggshells. You better not step foot in that door with that shoes. You know I'm Asian. You better take off that what, and then you start yelling, right? Or you accidentally drop some. J Park Solo. So number 2, women follow your actions, not your words. Okay, now this goes for everybody, but I'm speaking about women in particular, right? Because action, like, you could say a lot of things. A lot of people say a lot of things. But it's like, do you lead that example? Can you follow through with your words? And because, like, if I told you guys I'm always here at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and I'm not here, and I'm always like 15, 20 minutes late, are you gonna really sit around and, like, want to wait? No. But if I told you I was gonna show up at this time, then I'm gonna show up. Now, if something unfortunate happens and I have to cancel, I'll let y'all know. And if it's even more sudden than that and I'm unable to do that, then it's like, holy shit, Mitchell usually never misses like that. Call Mitchell's bars. I need to hear this after this, because I'm gonna have to give credit to the people. Like, most of these, I've learned a lot from other people, right? I'm not reinventing the wheel. All I'm doing is I'm saying it in a different way with my voice and this background music. You know, you can clip that too. So anyways, women follow your actions, not your words. And your words, you could be charmful, right? But eventually you can say all these things, you make it feel all giggity, right? But next thing you know, you don't follow through with it. Guess what? It's gonna be like, well, you told me you were gonna, take me Six Flags Marine World, and never got there, right? You full of shit. You are full of shit. You don't want to be that guy full of shit, okay? There's already too much shit in your body, okay? That's why you gotta wake up every morning and let that shit go, literally. Um, you don't want to be that guy full of shit, all right? So don't be full of shit. Anyways, number one, don't neglect your brain and make sure you mean what you say, okay? That's integrity, right? Say what you mean what you say. It keeps your character strong and holds yourself accountable. Because if you think about it like this, let's look in a scale, right? Okay, how am I gonna do this? Let's look at it like this, okay? Let's go with, I'm not gonna even use this graph. I don't know why I did it. Obviously was not prepared for this, but it just popped in. Think about it like this. Would you rather be in a workplace where someone is obviously, if you're a low performer and you have low trust, ain't nobody want to work with your ass. Like, you shouldn't even be there, okay? That tells me that the job really needed somebody. They desperate. They're like, yo, let's just hire this person that we can't trust, and they're a low performer, but let's just pay them anyways, right? But then if you have a high performer but low trust, will you really want to work with them? High performer, they could get the shit done. Low trust, it means that you can't really trust them for whatever reasons. Maybe they will try to take all the credit, not give you anything, whatever, right? Or maybe someone that you just really don't get along with. You're like, holy shit, this person's full of shit. Or what I've noticed, okay, is there are people that will rather gravitate towards people that's moderate performers with high trust. People that you could really you could trust them. And that's why, if you think about the word integrity, right, look at it in a concept of, in any company that you go into, you ever notice trust and integrity is what they hold most accountable to themselves? Is because that's what they value in. Is because, and if big companies value that, what makes you think you as a person, as an individual, should not value that as one of your top priorities? Have integrity. It means that you have to say what you mean and mean what you say. Now, having integrity doesn't mean that just because having integrity doesn't mean like you do everything that's easy. It means that you do things that are right. That's right for you, even if it goes against what other people believes, right? And here's an example. If you go out with a bunch of people that lacks integrity, that hey, maybe they do X, Y, and Z behind their partner's back, and you're like, yo, I don't fuck with that. Yo, why you trying to ruin the party? We're all just trying to have fun. No, you can have fun, just don't have me a part of it, because that's not what I do. That's not what. And it's like, that's where integrity kicks in. When things don't go your way, and it's like, look, I don't fuck with that. That's not what I do. Right? Oh, you a bitch. No, I'm not a bitch. If you want to talk about what's a real bitch, let's talk about the lack of integrity, right? So that's where it really kicks in. So, and that's why and if you could follow through with that, oh my God, their quotes. What? You're resting up. All right. It's good to see you, Greg. It's good to see you. So women, they see through your actions. They see you through your actions. And remember, a woman doesn't care how much you like them, okay? They only care how much they feel about you, okay? What's up, Brandy? Women don't care. They don't care how much. Look, if I told you, oh my God, I love you so much, I care about you, don't ever leave, right? They're like, if they don't feel shit for you, man, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. I don't want to be around. You're annoying me now, right? To a point, I used to care about you. Now you're just annoying the shit out of me. Can you be a man? All right? And so that's why there are certain rules. There's certain rules to be a guy, a masculine, heterosexual man. Okay, there are rules, and same thing for women. And not a lot of people like hearing that for some reason. I don't know why. They always feel like they're special. No, you're not. Okay, I'm not special. You're not special. Oh, you got money? That's great. You're not special. Okay? It means that you still eat, you still take a shit, okay? You still put on pants unless you jump into your pants. I do it one leg at a time. I don't know about you. I don't want to wake up chancing my face every morning. That's not what I want to do, right? But hey, look, integrity, all this, that's what's gonna, like, when you're gone and you're no longer here on the face of this earth, what's going to be passed on is your energy, your vibes, your integrity, right? Your character's destiny. Okay, so can't stress that enough. And do things every day that builds your character up, not bring it down, right? So having character and having integrity, being emotionally resilient and being grounded, that's fucking attractive. That's fucking attractive. You know why? You know why? When you have character, right? You have a strong character. You know what's right. You do what's right, and you have integrity. You're also humble too. You're not an arrogant bastard, right? And you do the things that you want to do, and you're unapologetic about it, and you're grounded, and it means that you're nice. You're dangerous, but you're kind. It's like you don't take shit from people, but you don't lose your shit also. And the reason why that is so attractive is because if you consolidate all that and mold it into one thing, that's where confidence kicks in, and that's true confidence. Because look, I built my character. This is the person that I am, and if hey, I have no problem walking away from it. It's because most people cannot walk away from things because they're in a scarcity mindset. They truly believe that if this person leaves, they won't find anything better. Why? Because they felt like this was the best that ever happened to them. It's like, no, you could probably do better. You could probably do, but maybe it's the limited self-talk, self-sabotage, whatever it is. Hey, it's the story that you tell yourself. That's how you're going to convey your character. And that's where confidence kicks in. And that's why it's so sexy. A person that knows what they want, they go for what they want, right? That's masculine energy. And they're grounded. They're not going to lose their shit, but they're also not going to take their shit. Look, I don't appreciate you talking to me like that. Understand that you had a bad day, and I want to hear you out. But if you want me to hear you out, I will need you to talk to me calmly. Please, talk to me calmly, because I can't hear anything. I can't listen to you with all this extra noise of yelling and screaming. I don't need that. I don't deserve that. I'm just trying to listen to you, and if you're unwilling to do that, I'm gonna go. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, what is it that you want to talk about, babe? What is it? Well, this is why. Okay. So this is why, and then that's how you get the ball rolling, right? Get the ball rolling. Um, so, and that's why, like, the confidence, having strong character, integrity, and all that. That's how you're gonna convey it through your action, and that's true confidence, right? So, and there should be more attracted to you. And going into a relationship, you're going to share your completeness to her. So a person that's already good, strong character, that goes for what they want and have all these good traits, they're going into the relationship, or if they're not already in it, they're more complete. They're complete. I don't need you in my life. I love to have you in my life, but if you don't want me, I'm gonna put my time over here. But I do care about you. So, hey, let's try to work things out, right? And it doesn't come from a desperate place. It comes from a place where it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. I want you. Right? It's knowing what you want, not from a place of desperation, but from a place of, I see value in this. Right? So, this also means that you will most likely take care of your body, mentally, physically, and spiritually as well, right? And what you focus on expands. So if you really believe that you want to live an extraordinary life and you're willing to take action, it will continue to be better. Then you will be less bitter. So don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills, right? Life is about adding up all the little things to get to a bigger picture. That's what it's all about, right? So, learning when to let go. Okay, slide number 2, learning when to let go. If the decisions you're making is an attempt to make you become a better person, then it might be worth a shot. And what I mean by that is learning to let go. It doesn't just necessarily have to be relationships, but it's kind of like letting go of, hey, maybe I have to take some sacrifices. I can't be going out having fun, having parties and all this if I want to invest my time into becoming a better person. So that's why it's like, can you space out time? Hey, I get it. You work 40-hour work weeks, but then what are you doing on the weekends? And what are you doing on the days that you're not? What we have 168 hours, so we work 40 hours. Let's just commute. Let's add in commuting. Okay, that might be 50. Okay, 60 if you're really pushing it. So that means that you still have 104 hours. Okay, and let's just say you sleep 8 hours. 8 times 7, 56. Okay, so 56 hours. You still have 40 some hours throughout the entire week. What are you doing? Look, do you see that? I just did that in my head. Maths. All right, so yeah, you still have a lot of time. What are you doing with the rest of the time? Okay, and I bet you for sure, like if you went on your phone and you checked how long you've been on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you're not really doing anything to better yourself, right? Like maybe listening to a podcast that's really going to be helpful and you're actually taking the actions from that, then what are you really doing? Or are you reading a book? Are you applying things, right? So you gotta let some of the things go that's taking up some of the time. So let go some of the time. Math king. No, I'm horrible at fucking math. Okay. Really, really bad. Really bad. I'm decent. So then yeah. So if it's an attempt to make you become a better person, then it might be worth a shot. Okay. So then if you think about it, if staying at a job or a relationship, right, participating in activities, it doesn't really feel you, like find something else. Do it somewhere else, because you're going to find something that's gonna be more useful, right? You want your time to be meaningful, right? As much as we need to decompress a little bit. Wherever you go, you should always build your character. Character is something you must stay consistent on. Okay, it means that yeah, there will be some times like look, I like a beer here and there. That's fine. I'm not gonna be a raging alcoholic, but I like to drink wine with friends. I like to eat. I want to like chit chat and all that. But do I do all the things that I need to do first? And if the answer is no, then chances are I'm gonna be like, nah, I can't. I'm busy. Oh, but it's a weekend. Yeah, I'm still busy. But I'll come next weekend if y'all free, right? And I talked about where integrity doesn't really cost you anything, but until it starts going, integrity doesn't cost you anything until you're stuck between choosing what you want and what you know is good for you. Agree. What you agree on, Yaku? Welcome. Yeah. Character isn't something where you only participate in at your leisure or depending on your emotions. Okay, that's not what character is. Getting things done first. Yeah. I've turned I've turned down so many things. Like they're like, hey, yo, Mitchell, let's do this, and I'm like, no, I can't. Like Friday is not a good time for me because usually it takes me X amount of hours to do a video, a podcast like this, setting things up, getting things ready. Even though it's kind of like I read a little bit and I talk about it, I still have to make sure that I have things that I want to say, right? So that's important to me, and you guys are important to me. Why? Because you're giving me your time. If you're giving me your time, I want to make sure it's being good use. That's why it's hard to finish video games. I'm gonna tell that to Justin. Yeah, you have brand new video games you never opened. I'm just gonna wait till you buy everything first, right? I'm like, hey, yo, Yaku, I heard you got this game that you never opened. So yeah, having integrity isn't about doing what's easy, it's about doing what's right. So every choice you make will be based off of avoiding pain or to gain pleasure. So think about it. If you're doing something, are you doing it to avoid pain or are you doing it to gain pleasure? What are you doing, right? Why do people work? Why are there 401ks, right? Think about it. They're doing it to avoid pain, okay? Why do people do things to gain pleasure? Okay? Why? They go out there, they do some nasty things. Whatever they want to do, right? To gain pleasure. Those are only two things. Okay? unless you could tell me otherwise. So a person seeks almost solely for pleasure, usually have much difficulty in life than a person that goes through doing what is right, even though it goes against like it goes against like what other people believe in, but that's really true to who they are. So, like I know not a lot of people like what Andrew Tate has to talk about, but here's what I found out with Tate is that he speaks his mind, and not everything he says is bad. Okay, there were some out of pocket stuff. I do agree with that, but I could see his intentions, and I could see past that. But yet, other people would just be like, "Oh, like I even had a person that I just met. Cool, everything's good, right? Mentioned Andrew Tate. Instantly did not like me. I was like, are you even willing to hear me out? No, you support him. I didn't say that, but I said I understand what he's saying. There's a difference. I think what he says, but he does say some out of line stuff, right? Out of pocket stuff. But he's wanting people to become better versions. He just says it a little differently than I do. Okay, I'm more a little passive. He's more like, why you a piece of shit sitting on a wall, not doing anything, looking the way you are, with no money, no girls, and all this, right? That's like he goes really like deep into it. I'm more like, yo, where do you want to be, and where you grow up? Yeah, that's practically my approach, right? Where do you want to be when you grow up? I'm asking you the same damn question that your preschool teacher once asked you. Okay, I'm just an adult version asking you that. What do you want to do when you grow up? So, anyways, so going back to this. So before you think about being bitter for personal pleasure, think about what you can do to become better. Better is usually acting from a place of strength as opposed to weakness. Um, they're a little, they are a little country, and you more R&B. Yeah, it's like there's certain people like I see characters in people. Like if that person had that really means like if they know something that's good, it's like that's something that I can learn from. It doesn't mean I'm gonna take everything from there. I don't think women are for this reason. Like that's not what I believe in. But I do believe that what they said over here was right. And I could use that. Why? Because I just pick and choose. I'm like, cherry picking. Right? That's good. Let me get some of that sweet ass cherry. Let me get some of that. So my last slide is my journey. So a little personal journey. I think I kind of shared it a little bit before, but my journey began with belief, right? It's believing in myself. And the reason why is because just growing up, just always being told that I wasn't going to do anything. I was always like walking on eggshells. Anytime I answered a math problem wrong, it was like the worst thing in the world. So I felt like I had to be perfect, or I had to get everything right the first time. And if I didn't get it, I will be punished. Okay? In some way, shape, or form, I would have been punished. Whether it's verbal, sometimes even physical, because it's like they lack patience. And I'm not blaming them, but also at the same time, it's like, did I deserve that? And I was like, well, probably not. I was a kid, I don't know everything, nor do they. But it's like, then I come to think of it, I'm like, is it because they lack security in themselves, so that they have to take it out on other people to feel a little bit of strength for themselves, so that they could go out that day by saying, I just tear this little kid's whatever apart, like just mentally, and so that they could feel good about themselves, right, like taking candy from a baby and feeling proud of it, and it's like, I feel good about it. I'm gonna go on about that day and use that confidence as fuel. Hey, but it's not until I was like, you know what, things sucked. It sucked for me, but oh well, Mitchell, you could either be bitter or you could be better, right? And so I was like, well, I was determined I want to become better. I want to strive for things that I want. So whatever it is, I didn't know how to dance. I started moving my feet, right? I was horrible at talking to people. Now I talk. I still have a little anxiety when I talk to people. I'm like, damn, that's nice. But at the same time, let me look past that. Let me look past that. How is this person? Um, I did have a recent interaction with somebody where I purposely didn't say anything and I was just looking at her. She said something to me and I said something to her, and she said something, and I caught her saying something, and she was like, she just stopped, and I just paused and I just didn't say anything for like 4 seconds, and that 4 seconds felt like it was like 30 seconds. You ever talk to somebody but I did this intentionally? I feel like an asshole now, but anyways, I just looked at her and I was like, okay. And it it forced her to say something else, but it wasn't what she wanted to say, but she just wanted to like fill in that gap of like that silence. And I was like, I know what you were saying. Have a good have a good day. I felt like an asshole though. I didn't That's not what I wanted to do. Same as a child, immigrant parents. I think I'm gonna be super patient. Yeah. And you try to be right, because as a parent, you want to make sure that you want to be the best for your kids, right? Oh, I want to do what's best for my kids. I want to do what's best for my kids. It's like, but are you really even thinking about what you are doing that might not be right for the kids? Just because you have the right intentions, right? Like, you still got to look at our approach. It's like what Jim Rohn said. He's like, what happens when your friend accidentally drops strychnine, which is like a poison or whatever, in your cup of coffee? You could die. But what happens when a stranger drops that in there as well, or an enemy drops that in your coffee? Well, you die. But what happens when an enemy drops regular sugar in your coffee? It's not gonna do anything. So you still got to be careful, no matter where it comes from. You still got to be cautious of it. Um. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, it was. Yeah, I was just staring at her. I was like, oh, okay. And she didn't say anything, and then she felt like she had to say something, and I was like, yes. Success. That was fun. It was fun. Anyways, so that's part of my journey, like just really having not a lot of patience, and that's the one thing that really kind of latched onto me the most, was like understanding having patience for somebody. And like I said before, like life has strange ways of stepping aside once you say I had enough. So I was like, yo, I had enough. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of always being like verbally abused. I'm tired of just always being like constantly criticized without even like given any type of instructions. And it's like, well, you did give me instructions, but you gave me 17 of them. So uh, unless I have a pen and paper, do you just expect me to understand this? No. Well, how come I could do it? Well, because you did it a million times. You did it. What would happen if I just taught you a dance that I knew? Can you replicate that right now? Would you be upset? Can I start yelling at you because you didn't do every single step? Because I did the whole 45 seconds just fine. How come you can't do it? Right? And now, that's not about like being spiteful. It's not about being that, but it's about bringing in awareness to, look, how are you treating people? How are you treating people? You get better people by encouraging them, not by trying to like be condescending and trying to kick them down, right? Celebrate, and how every year remind them that I didn't forget they possibly. Is that what it is? I don't know the whole history about it. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna do that day. I don't know. I said I was gonna be Jake Park. All right. So life has strange ways of stepping aside once you say you had enough. Um, but for the longest time though, I had a mental roadblock. That mental roadblock was, every time I felt like I got out of it, I always get sucked back in, and I got better, and it just got pulled back down. And a lot of it came from my own negative self-talk, some self-sabotage, just a lot of resistance, just pulling me back down. And on top of that, having unsupportive people definitely did not make it better. uh also consuming things that like was very anxiety provoking. Oh my god, did you see what happened in the news today? Did you hear about what happened, blah blah blah? It's like, yeah, things happen. It sucks. It sucks that that person got into this tragic car accident, but things happen. Things always happen. It just happens to different people, or maybe the same person twice, which sucks even more. But things happen. Things always happen. And if I'm gonna worry about everybody, I would never spend enough time to work on myself. You know what I mean? And it's easier to point things about other people and point out their flaws, their what's wrong with them and all this. But it's way more constructive. It's way more beneficial if you start pointing that back at yourself and be like, can I do that? Can I become this better person? And how am I gonna do this so that I could become better? So that's way more important. And let's see. So before this was all a lot of self doubt, a lot of negative self talk, and a lot of self sabotage. So I always found that pulling myself back in there, and it wasn't until I started letting one thing go at a time. It wasn't all at once, but I started letting things go a little at a time. Just little things here and there, little things here and there, and it just made it so much better. Um, and I started seeing a lot of results coming back in. Like I'm less anxious now. I don't let things bother me as much because I built that resilience by removing a lot of the unnecessary things in my life. And it's not easy. It's not easy because who wants to lose a best friend? Who wants to lose a best friend? Who even wants to lose a close family member? Who wants that? But you also have to understand it's like people are still people, no matter if they're blood or whatever, right? Like they're still people at the end of the day. And so you have to see them as who they are and as they are and not project what you want them to be, right? Even though they have good traits. It's like, well, this person's always fun to be around with, but every single time you're done hanging around with them, you just feel like, damn, that was stupid. Why did I do all those things? Have you ever I don't know, it happened to me before, and I'm like, I always find myself doing some dumb shit. And I was like, if I keep doing this, eventually I'm gonna be doing some dumb shit that I can't get myself out of, or it's gonna be more difficult to pull myself out of. So that's probably not the best choice. And it's like, and sometimes some people give you reasons to step aside too, right? And it's like, look, maybe this is our time, right? And so that's why I look at people as gifts. Even the people that came into my life or that is no longer in my life, they're gifts. They're gifts to me because I learned a lot from them, and I hope I've done the same for them too as well. And it's not coming from a place of like I want them to regret not having me, but it's like, hey, you know what? Our time is a little your time and my time. We both want different things. And if that's the case, then by all means, you know what? People are gifts, and I learned a lot from you, and I hope we both benefit from each other from that. And I stopped lying to myself. I stopped lying to myself. I started listening to myself. Um, and when I found out that there were things I wasn't good at, guess what? I stopped lying to myself. I didn't say, but you're good though. Like, no, you're not. They obviously are better than you. They spend more time on it. Like, if you think about it, I dance way longer than I have been doing relationships and coaching. Okay, so until I have those hours in and those days and years in, then I can't really say that. And so that's why I know that I am a better dancer as as great as I think I am in relationships and stuff. I say I have a lot to fucking learn. Same thing even for dancing too as well. But it's just that I've done dancing way longer, right? So it's like and that's the growth. That's like you don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. So I started and I want to be great at at this thing. And I still want to dance. I will always love dancing. And just because you're great at it, it doesn't mean, and if it's not something that fuels you, that drives you, and it's probably not the thing for you. And you know, one of the biggest secrets that I do want to share with you is the fact that, and I already shared it once, I don't know if you caught that, but the biggest secret is the fact that I love what I do. I love what I do. I love hearing good success stories from people where they were like, wow, Mitchell, like that advice that you gave me, that tip that you gave me, And like I'm starting to really believe in it. Like, wow, like I didn't believe it before. It's like it sounds counterproductive. It sounds like counterintuitive. Like, if she's doing this, why would I do that? Shouldn't I find out what's going on? Like, no, no, you're not, because you've been doing that. And what kind of results have you been getting? Nothing, right? All right, then you should probably do this. Give it a shot, right? And then I explain why, and then they're like, wow, it worked. And same thing, I had a friend. I was like, hey, I know you work out a lot, but I always feel like you're in pain. You always find yourself getting hurt. So maybe not that you shouldn't work out as much. I think that you should consolidate your time and shift some of your time into repairing your body so that you could go forward a lot easier, kind of like removing some of that resistance. And for him, it was like tight hips, tight back. You walking like a little block. I don't think anybody. Don't you want to be loose? Don't you want to be loose a little bit? Right? So yeah, like do that. Have some fun. It's gonna suck for like a month or two, but I could guarantee you, if you keep doing it, you're gonna be better. Why? Because I've done it. And and for the first time, I saw him today. He was like, Mitchell, like I did it for a fucking hour. It sucked, but I felt amazing after doing that. And I was like, imagine you did that for 2 months. Imagine you did that, right? And I even gave him some encouragement too. I was like, look, guess what? Once you're done with that, I want to incorporate more things for you so that you don't just keep doing the same thing over and over. We're just growth, right? There's there's something to look forward to, but it's going to take some time. And if you're patient with that, as I am patient with you, then we could both work at that together, right? And so I think there's the key to becoming a better person is patience is number one, right? Can you be patient? And do you have skills? And do you have people skills? Can you communicate? Do you listen? And that's a lot of people, they go out there because they don't feel heard, they don't feel understood. So that's why they have to always feel like they need to talk. But you can't give what you don't have, right? So it took a long time. It took a very long time to get there. Sup, Cheeky? But I'm very grateful to have um, that guy in my life so that I could share everything that I can for him, because he inspired me to be this person that I want to be, right? So people come and go, but there are gifts. They're gifts to you. So um yeah, that's it. That's it. So I know I'm not gonna overextend because I gotta eat. I gotta eat after this. But yeah, it was great. It was great. So I had a really good day. And he was like, yeah, I can't believe you're so calm about things. I was like, yeah, there's a little bit of chaos, but I was like, there's always gonna be a calm. I'm just gonna be like, but why? We need we need more. I need more pressed juice. That's what I need. I need that ginger. Yeah. So it depends. It depends on how you view things, right? When you see with your eyes, you see things. You see with your mind, you see answers. So it's like, and so if you start looking at things, it's not as problems, but more of how can I solve this? That's a way better approach than it is to, well, why does life suck for me? And I was like, no, why haven't you figured it out? That's my question, right? And so, but it's the level of enthusiasm that you have that you could give, right? So I was like, yeah, you know what? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to be learned, right? And I obviously don't know everything. There's a lot of things I don't know, to a point where it'd be like, Mitchell, like you could deliver a baby, but you can't stop a bloody nose. Like maybe, probably. I've heard doctors that do that, or yeah. But anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. Do you guys have any? Is there anything that I can answer for you guys? And what have you learned? What stuck to you? What was that one thing that stuck in your mind? We need more like presses. Mm. Also, it's getting colder now, so it's like I wonder what's gonna be happening. I learned hit that like yo Yaku, thank you man, appreciate you. There was 9 people in here. There was 9. That I did that. Thank you, man. Oh man, that was. Yo, I can't wait. I can't wait to actually have like a, a stream setup like on a computer where I could just I don't have to keep doing this. Like I keep have to setting lights. Like look, I'm turning this off, on and off. You see that? There's a light over here, so that I'm not like yeah. Lighting's key. See, I have to do everything. Eventually, I gotta start editing and all that too, right? As if I don't already kind of do that. But yeah, I enjoy sharing long form content like this, and I get that not a lot of people have all the time to sit down and listen, but those that do, I really do appreciate you. But here's also one of my other things that I need to get good at. I need to get good at making short form content, which is maybe short form as in like maybe 30 seconds. Like there's a skill for that, right? There's another one for like 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What are you going to talk about, right? Um, do something that could solve a problem for some people that they're struggling with, and that's how you're going to find that's how other people will find value, right? It's like, yeah, cool, you know how to draw. I can't draw for shit. Can you draw me this Pokemon right here? That'd be great because you do it way better than I do, right? Because it's like that, right? Same thing. Men, you great with kids, right? You teach kids with the panda dunks and all that, right? You listen to them. You're an English teacher. You're like, hey, that's not where you're supposed to put that apostrophe and that comma. And this is how you become better, right? Same thing. It's like everything has a give and take, right? Um, so yeah, and also, Chevlin, if you're here, tell SA I said happy birthday, happy ninth birthday. I hope he gets 9 booster packs and he gets something great out of that. He deserves it. And tell him I will still kick his butt in Cookie Run Kingdom. All right, if you're still here. But yeah, here's a secret. Here's a secret to life. Okay, find something that you truly love, truly like that's like that burning desire that you won't ever give anything up for. You won't ever give this up, and that's that burning desire. And once you have that down, there's nothing you will ever trade for this world. There's a little pencil inside you too, waiting to. There's there's a little pencil inside, waiting to check me out. That sounds weird. Yeah, that's. There's a little. So, but yeah, like find something that you love that you're so passionate about. Like, I see that as like with the internet now, like it allows a lot of people to do it. It's just most people kind of give up. They just they just give up. It's like I look, I didn't think that I could ever do this. I like this is just like to me it's like what the fuck? So, and it's like, yo, I learned all this. I never learned a single thing of this in school. Okay, I learned all this because look, here's another Jim Rohn quote. All right, men, if you're ready, get that pen and paper ready. All right, you ready? I'm assuming you're ready. So formal education will make you a living. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Okay, so and it's crazy that some people think that after school, after they're done with college, like, oh, that's it, I don't need to learn no more. It's like, no, there's still books, there's still audibles, right? There's still podcasts, there's still people that you could surround yourself with. It's like, holy, why didn't I know this? I didn't, and now I know, so that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, you know having a great outlook in life too, that's key. Because I had a moment while I was at the gym today, and it's not something that I would normally always think about, but I was like, Mitchell, you're in a much better place now than you once ever were. Okay, I can't English right now. Anyways, and I was like, well, is it because of my thinking process? Because I think it is. It has to be. It has to be, because if I spent so much time thinking about all the things that could be going wrong, and I do that consistently, days, weeks, months, years, it's easy to look back 5 years from now and be like, you ain't do shit. Nothing changed. Nothing changed, right? And I'm 7 deep. Right? I want to know what's number 1 and 2. Can you type that? Can you type that down? Yeah, that's dope though. That's dope, man. I hope whatever you got earlier too, as like a dress or something, pants, whatever, fits well. You say it looked nice, right? And yeah, I'm learning new things every day. Right now I'm reading this book. Uh, Do It Today. I forgot, it's by Darius or something. I download. So I bought Kindle Unlimited. It was like a few bucks for 3 months. I was like, yo, let me just try it out. And I got my Kindle. So, oh, you can't tell me yet. All right. When you're ready, you let me know. All right. This is gonna be a little bit pressure. This is gonna be a little press. All right. But yeah, so I started reading that. I started 2 days ago. I'm halfway done. Um, it's not that long. It's like 130 pages or something like that, I think. So yeah, not that much, but I enjoyed it. I had a lot of good, I had fun reading it, and I'm probably gonna read this after I eat, or maybe kind of chill for a little bit. Maybe even play some. Yeah, I'm gonna play some Fortnite, eat a little bit, and then read my book, and then plan out my day for tomorrow. Plan out my day, and then reflect. I already did a little reflection of what happened today, but I'm probably gonna get a little bit deeper into it, right? Uh, but yeah. Anyways, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. There's 4 people, 4 likes, right? I know you. So yeah, cool. I appreciate you always coming in with that. Whoever's still in here, thank you. But I see Min and I see Yaku. Ruby, I saw Ruby here earlier. I don't know if Brandy's still in here. Greg left. But yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you in the next episode. Today's episode was really fun. I really like it. And Min, I'm gonna ask you, share me one of those. All right, you're gonna share me one of those. Thank you. Appreciate your time. I hope you have a great rest of your nights. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace. Got to keep you updated. Hell yeah, Yaku. Hell yeah.